Hello, I'm Maureen King from ThatTappingThing.com, and I want to give you some more information for free. This is something called erase and replace, and it's a technique that I found to be really very beneficial in a lot of different areas. I've taught it to my students at school as a school counselor, and I use it in my own life too. Erase and replace is actually something that a lot of different people talk about, but I actually learned it from Gary Craig, the founder of EFT, Emotional Freedom Techniques. With erase and replace, it's actually really simple. There's certain words we want to eliminate from our vocabulary and try to eliminate from our thoughts. So we're going to erase them and replace them with something that's more powerful that's going to help us have a better life. The words you want to erase are have to, ought to, should, must, and need to. And those are words we use all the time. I never realized that they were a problem, but evidently when you use those words, and this is something that's in Daniel Amen's book Mind Coach, but it's in a lot of different things, but when you use those words, there's a subconscious block that we tell ourselves, no, and we resist doing whatever it is that we should, have to, must. So instead of doing that, we want to replace those words with want. I want to, and why. Erase and replace. And I'm going to show you some examples of how to use those. Let's say, for example, you decide that you want to get healthier. You don't want to be on taking the medications that half the world is taking. You want to be around to play with your kids and your grandkids. You want to have your mind be alert. You want to be able to learn things, have a great memory. There's all different kinds of reasons that you want to choose to have a better diet. But maybe you're somebody that's been pretty well hooked on these little babies or something else. I used to be before EFT. Anyway, instead of thinking to yourself, I shouldn't eat this because I'm going to get fat, that actually makes it harder for us to resist it on the subconscious level. So instead of that, think, I want to skip this because, and give yourself the reason. So, an example, I want to skip this because I want to be able to play with my grandkids. I want to skip this because I want to have more energy later on. I want to skip this because I don't want to have that guilty feeling I get sometimes. I want to skip this because I just want to be a healthier person. Whatever it happens to be, erase and replace with want and because. Let's give an example of how kids would use this at school. Maybe they're thinking, gosh, I just hate to do homework. They get home and they're thinking to themselves, I have to study for this test. Instead of saying have to, ought, should, must to, or need to, erase them and replace them with want and why. I want to study for this test so that I can feel good when I see that grade. I want to study for this test because then I'm going to have more fun time later to go out and do the things I enjoy. I want to study for this test because my parents will take me off restriction. I want to study for this test because I feel good when I do better. So whatever you're working on, erase those words, should, have to, need to, must, and replace them with, I want to, because. For a written list of the words and other examples of how to use erase and replace, please go to my free site, ThatTappingThing.com. Spread the word, and thank you for letting me help you to have a better life.